What was a failure and what was a success?
Job with it is to give it a jolly good clean.
Have you subscribed yet? I am starting to get a little bit tired now. There's another spring down there.
It is another exciting day on the farm today. Well, I'd say that's a huge success.
You hurt your finger. Wow.
It's a proper building site now, isn't it?
It's a proper building site. We are literally just about to break ground on the project of our lifetime.
Yeah, it's going to be massive.
In this episode, we're going to pick our 3 biggest failures and our 3 biggest wins, things that we're most proud of. And we're going to share them with you guys. We'd love to hear your thoughts about what you think we did really, really well and what you thought was a bit, could have done that a little bit better.
Yeah. There is so much to come. So the first thing I'm going to ask you guys to do, please, is make sure that you subscribe to our channel. If you tune in every episode, please still check that you have actually hit that button.
50% of you guys who watch regularly are not subscribed. Now, if you subscribe, you won't ever have to go and search through all of the YouTube videos while you're looking for us.
Yeah.
You'll be able to just find us straight away because it'll come
page.
up on your home feed, just like on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. You guys have just watched us bosh through about 100 million different projects that we've had here on the farm.
Yeah, in the last 3 years, I think we must have done 16,000 projects.
It's been busy.
It's been so busy. And before we start with this massive project, which is undoubtedly the biggest, the most it's going to be just the biggest in every way, isn't it? The most expensive, the biggest in terms of size, it's going to take the longest, it's going to involve the most people, etc., etc.
It's going to be the biggest challenge I think either of us have ever had, probably in our entire lives.
For sure, without question. So we thought it'd be a good idea to reflect back on the last 3 years and all the projects that we've done and just quickly do a bit of a checklist. What was a failure and what was a success?
So without further ado,
let's go and have a look at our biggest wins
and our biggest failures.
So darling, is it yours or one of mine?
It's one of mine.
So are we starting with a failure?
What? The tiny house?
No, the chicken. Let me rephrase, right? Not the chickens, the chicken coop. So here we are at the chicken coop.
Here we are.
Which feels like a good place to start. Number one, because they need to be let out. So let's do that quickly.
Yeah.
Good morning, chickens. Let's go out today.
Obi has literally made a racetrack all the way around the chicken coop.
He is so funny. When they're in there, he goes crazy, like runs round and round and round and round and round. And then they come out and look, he's now like crouched down in border collie stance. And he pretty much just keeps an eye on them all day long. Just watches them as they go about their business. Anyway, if you've been around a while, you'll know this is our second flock of chickens. Our first flock, who were so dear to us with the amazing cockerel Fifi and Sadza, Budza and Tadza. We very sadly lost them we now think it was actually a fox rather than dogs. But anyway, it was a very traumatic time for us. And this is our new flock of chickens who are actually doing really, really well, despite living in less than adequate living quarters.
Shame.
It's really cute.
Yeah. Okay. Why is it a failure?
Failure is a strong word for this, right? Because it's not a total fail. But if you've been here a long time, you'll know that we, generally speaking, and especially John, dive into a project without a plan.
Yeah.
We just build. We start building and it just builds and it just becomes whatever it was destined to become, or whatever, like wherever the imagination takes us. And that's what we did with the chicken coop. And I think perhaps for this project, a plan might have been a good idea, or like a design that we thought about a little bit better. It's just too small.
I wouldn't say it's too small.
The chickens have got loads of space for themselves, but it's too small because I'd like more chickens. And I think it should have been higher. It's too low.
I think it's a failure because it didn't ever get properly finished.
Okay.
And there are sections where it leaks a little bit, which I've had to fix with pieces of plastic. I would have liked it to look a little bit fancier than that as well. You know, at the time when we were building this, we were so busy with so many other projects, trying to get so much other stuff done. It actually took us a really long time to finish it to a point that it was usable.
Yeah, it did. I think, do you know why I think it's too small as well, though? And why I think the design isn't quite right is because I'm the one that cleans the chicken coop, and it's really hard to clean.
Yeah.
It's painful to get in around the corners. It's hard to get right to the other egg box. It's kind of, you know, a big walk-in, like stand-up chicken coop would have been a lot easier to clean out.
Yeah, no, you're fair. What's going to happen with it?
Well, we're going to move the chickens. This is where they've been for like over 2 years now, isn't it?
That's right.
But this is the exact spot where we want to put in a big, giant stone staircase that leads this terrace down to the next terrace, which is where the biopool is, which is literally right behind you guys.
Yeah.
So the plan is to move the chickens just across the way to the other side of the orchard.
It's going to be a heck of a job to lift it all up, because we buried all this wire in the ground and, you know, anyway, let's see when that happens. When Mario comes along with his digger and says, right, let's put the staircase in. What we basically want is to build a really cool stone staircase where this chicken coop is, between these two plum trees, down to the biopool, so it can feel like the biopool is totally connected to the rest of the farm, because at the moment it kind of feels a little bit out on a limb.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, when the chickens move, are you going to build a new chicken coop?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're really, really happy chickens. They don't mind. It's just, you know, if we were to have to pick a failure, but this is not a giant success.
All right. So let's go and look at something that's been a giant success.
Yeah, let's.
It used to be our old house.
Yeah, this would be our kitchen.
And our veranda.
Let's say soon.
60,000 cobbles.
600 square meters.
15,000 euros.
And I'd say it's a massive success.
And it's one we didn't even do.
And what we're talking about is this enormous, giant cobbled driveway, which we had installed almost this time last year, isn't it? Like in a month's time. It's a year old.
A year old already,
Yeah.
and it's doing really, really well.
Yeah.
It started off with Mario coming in and digging out a road down the side here. So we changed access from one side to the other side, literally opening up the entire side of the farm. And Mario and his stonemason friend came in and built a little retaining wall right there. And then we had the cobblers come in.
Yeah, which was epic. To hear that sound of the tap, 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 tap,
Tap, tap,
tap,
tap.
tap, tap.
Yeah.
For, what was it, like 4 days or something they were here?
4 days, yeah.
It was incredible, and just watching it all come to life as it spread out. And also for the works traffic that's going to start coming in. That was the biggest incentive, was if we're going to build this house, we need better access.
And of course the cherry on the on top of the cake.
Our beautiful olive tree and our kind of olive orchard. This is our olive orchard down here. So we've got our magical, magical olive trees that we took out of the forest and moved here, which was just such a memorable day for everybody. And I know was one of your guys' favourite stories from the year.
Yeah.
And it's also something that's kind of spurring on new projects. I'm in the process of working on a children's book all about the story of moving those olive trees. And then of course our beautiful kind of, what's this, centerpiece olive tree that we got from Deer Plant and worked with them on moving it onto the farm, and the whole place just come together so beautifully. And the drive down, you know, home should be a place that you drive down into and you just breathe a deep sigh of contentment and peace and happiness. And that's what this whole thing's done, isn't it? This driveway is just, you come around that corner and you go, home.
Yeah, for me, as probably a lot of you know, what I'm looking for when I'm coming into this place is the see-through views and the lines of vistas, you know. And one of those really important lines is the very first line. As you drive down the driveway that we've put in, you're seeing all the way across the lawn, past those big pine trees that we've got and the deck area that we've put into place. You're seeing little paths, and now you're seeing orange trees and stone tables, and then far in the background you've got this wonderful mountain view. The lawn, the hedges will stop and you'll be able to see the stone house, so your view will go from here to here. And then that's kind of the magic of arriving at a location. There's a lot going on down here, like there is with a lot of the projects. It's not finished, but it's definitely right now a real success.
Huge. And when you walk up to our next failure, you don't want to be confused about why there's anything growing there.
Okay.
Should we go talk about that?
Let's go do it. All right, I'm just going to be changing around a few of my Reolink cameras now that we've lost a house. I'm going to reposition them into different locations. If you're in the market for some Reolink cameras or some extra security this winter, now's the right time to buy. We've got a great discount for you, over 40%. Stick around and I'll tell you all about my 3 favourite cameras, and I'll give you links to that discount. Reolink have had such an epic year of innovation this year. This one is the Reolink Argus PT Ultra, and it's so sophisticated. There's a myriad reasons why I'm moving it to this location. This is the most important location pretty much in the entire farm now. And if you're looking for a good security camera solution, this is the most advanced budget-friendly option. It's an 8 megapixel 4K wireless solar and battery-powered self-contained camera with a spotlight. Important to have that feature at the front gate as a deterrent to anybody that might be looking around at night. It also has a 360-degree view and a 2-way communication system, so I can chat to said lurker or my boys when they're playing in the sandpit. My other favourite camera, which I think you guys should check out in my Reolink menagerie, that's a good word, isn't it? The Altus PT Ultra 4K camera. It's remarkable. The battery life on this badger is absolutely epic, which means that during the winter months I don't have to rely too much on it being sunny every day to keep it charged. The other thing I really love about it is the continuous recording. 12 hours a day for up to 8 days. So we've connected a whole bunch of cameras to our home hub to make sure that all of the information we're recording is stored safely in one central location. This camera here also uses Reolink's very exciting innovation, the nighttime color camera, which basically means there's no lights coming on, but it's still filming in full color. I don't know how they do it, but it's very cool. This is the Argus 4 Pro, another one of my big favorites, 180-degree wide vision. When you look at it on the screen, you've got this letterbox, super letterbox shaped screen that basically is taking in everything. I can see from all the way over there, all the way across, all the way over to here. I am literally missing nothing in the range of vision. It's very, very snazzy. It's also got that Color X nighttime vision technology that Reolink is so famous for. What I would say is, when you're looking for a Reolink camera, just have a quick look at the area that you're trying to survey, what you're trying to get from that camera, and choose the right one, because they don't all fit in the same box. So Reolink are treating us to a Black Friday deal, over 40% discount. Now is exactly the right time to get your hands on some Reolink kit. Use the links in the description below and you'll go straight through to the web pages that you need. All right, my darling, this one's yours.
And this is totally mine, and I actually feel a wee bit vulnerable sharing all of this, because I am very, very sad at how this has turned out. I don't know, I feel like I let myself down, I feel like I've let you down, I feel like I've let the boys down, I feel like I've let you all down, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff in my head about this. This is our greenhouse and vegetable garden, and this year has been a total fail of epic proportions. When we first got here, we started employing the amazing Joao, who's our neighbour. And he came over, and that first year he just created the most extraordinary vegetable garden for us, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
And it was amazing because I learned so much, and we had so many amazing opportunities, you know, things like planting potatoes all together or stringing the onions with Armando, and there was just so much joy in this garden, and my goodness did we get the most incredible bounty, didn't we? It was just a summer full of vegetables.
It was great,
It
yeah.
was epic.
I remember Crusoe coming up here and just helping himself constantly.
It was amazing.
It was a really different year from this past year, in fact, because we found ourselves this year on that side of the farm mostly, and the year before we were up here a lot. True.
So this year we tried again to have the veggie garden and things, and there's just not enough hours in the day. There's not enough time for me to be able to do everything I've got to do in the house and with the business and come and tend to a field of vegetables this size. So we planted a whole load of stuff this year, but it just got abandoned. It ran away with me. I didn't have time to water, so things weren't as strong as they should be. The greenhouse was just a rubbish purchase.
Yeah, that is the worst.
So nasty. It was awful to put together. The instructions were horrendous, so it was all put together wrong with bits missing, and a breath of wind and all the sheets pop out. I've tried to stick it with silicone, it doesn't work. I loathe that greenhouse. So that's also been abandoned. And yeah, basically this has just been a giant fail. So my plan with the veggie garden is to halve the amount of size that we're cultivating and set up some raised beds, which I'll do when we get back from Borneo. Put down some cardboard and some weed layer, make some walls of something. I'm still trying to decide what to do it with. Maybe stone, maybe bricks, maybe just logs.
That could be next episode.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Downsize everything and keep it to a level that I can manage. I want to fall in love with gardening again. I want to enjoy growing our own food. This year it just brought me so much sadness, and I don't want that.
If I were you, I wouldn't worry too much about it, Tony, because it's been a really, really busy year and can't be everywhere.
It's true. Anyway, let's go talk about another win, shall we?
Another win.
We like wins. Oh look, Hobbit House. Bonus success, Natalia?
Oh, on the fence.
No, it's good. Pièce de résistance.
Not the stone table.
No, but John's magnificent lawn.
Yeah, lawn. I think we could just put it as a space.
Garden. It's your garden, love.
We've definitely talked about rooms on the farm before, haven't we? And rooms not just being inside the house, but also outside too.
John started this when we first got to the farm by literally stomping this field flat for 4 days with his own 2 feet.
Yeah, it was good fun.
It was bonkers, and it's been it's like the definition of a labour of love. You have invested hours and days and weeks and months of your time down here.
I have.
Reseeding, patching up, fixing, mowing, planting, gardening, weeding. Like, it's just been immense.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that this is the oldest project I think that we've got on the farm now. The deck is 1.5 years old, but that's been a definite real part of this lawn area. It's almost a folly, if you like, something that's a focal point of the garden. And as we built that, we could grow the whole garden and the whole project away from it with paths and with other flower borders that kind of linked everything together. It's an evolving process, this whole design, but as you build one thing, it creates other spaces around it that can be also made to look rather spectacular.
From our point of view, to know that we've got the space as a family, which is now, this is untouched, it's not going to get moved or broken, or we're not going to have to move it, or, this is a place we can come when the builder gets really, really hectic, or when it's just crazy and chaos up at the house, we can come down here and it's going to be like a little sanctuary for the family.
Yeah.
Where the boys can play and we can relax and we can hang out, and it's just a magic spot of the farm.
It is, yeah. A real win.
Massive. This is a huge success, and I have to say well done, because it's yeah.
Thanks.
It's
Tom.
immense.
You thought it was a bit balmy first of all, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
What are you making a lawn for?
Daft.
Yeah. Shall we go and have a look at our last failure?
All right then.
All right.
Good idea.
Let's do it.
Lemon biopool.
Yeah,
What's it going to take?
it's cost us a lot of money so far as well.
It has, yeah.
Mm.
We are desperate to have a biopool. Like, we have this vision and I really want to bring it to life. I personally feel overwhelmed by this project because I don't really understand what needs to happen next, if you know what I mean.
I know what needs to happen next. I'm just at a place where I haven't had any time to do it, and I also want to get it right. You know, we've had some help with putting the blocks together, with laying the foundations, with digging the hole. We've got the rubber waiting to go into place. It shouldn't really be much more of an effort to get at least water in that hole. But I'm waiting. I've been trying to find the right time to finish it. For me, this whole terrace right now is a really big failure. Why is this a failure? For me, it's a failure because of motivational issues. I think I have never been particularly motivated about building this project. It's really necessary. What I need to do is I need to find space in the calendar to be able to come down to this terrace and create something that's going to be beautiful. And I've got really great ideas for how it's going to be. I want those fruit trees, orange trees all the way around the back here. I'd love a little wooden hut and a orangery greenhouse to be put up as well. We've got this idea to have a staircase coming down where the chicken coop is, a nice old stone staircase coming down. That'll kind of link it a little bit more fluidly to the rest of the farm. That's probably the moment of inspiration for me, this kind of trigger of this is actually a really beautiful spot on the farm. It is the extent of our farm. This, of course, is the terrace where all of our spring water ends up. So failure right now, 100% total failure. And not because of the work that's been done so far, because the work that's been done is really great. Failure because of
it's not finished.
Yeah, we started well over a year ago.
Yeah. We will get it done though. We will get it done. And I hope you guys are kind of taking this episode in the manner in which it's intended. You know, I think a lot of the time for YouTube channels like ours, there's a tendency to all be about successes and all be about like the editing down of how great these projects are, because we want them to be exciting so that they're entertaining to watch, so that they're good for you guys, they're good for us, they make us feel good, they make you feel good, it makes everybody happy. But the reality of life, and I'm sure you guys can all relate, is that there are some things that you do really well and there's some things that you really could have done a bit better.
Our ambition on this channel is to be as authentic and honest about everything that we do as possible. If you're just joining us for the journey, thanks so much for tuning in. This is who we are. And we've got a really big house build coming up, which I'm confident will be filled with successes
and failures.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's go celebrate a last win, shall we?
Yeah, we're finishing on a win.
Well, of course we're finishing on a win. You always got to finish on a win, right?
Let's finish on a win.
Alrighty.
I reckon this will be a win when it's finished. That's it. Wow.
Oh man, love this place.
10 months, guys, of renovating, of creating an extension, of lowering the floor, of all of the things that we did in order to be able to get here. It's a success because it's given us more space and it's given us a lovely space to live in.
Yeah, for me it's like a total game changer moving into that house. The other house kind of sometimes felt like we were camping.
That's true. That's really true. let's go and...
We're just going to sit down with a cup of coffee and just talk about some of our favourite bits and what we still need to do to it to finish it.
Okay.
And why we think it's our greatest song.
All right.
I'll tell you what, love, I am so proud of this home of ours.
Starting to look good, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Starting to feel good too.
Yeah. So this house has been just, as I said earlier, just such a game changer for us to have more space as a family.
It has.
And we've just done a full tour on it. So you saw that, you've seen what it's all about. But the things I love the most about it is having a separate living room where we can all gather as a family. Having that separate space, you know, when I'm cooking dinner and stuff, really just helps ease the load. You know, doing that all in one room with 2 toddlers is really intense. That time of day is intense with kids anyway. And the boys are generally always in a good mood, but they're just really loud. So, you know, to be able to separate that space out just makes the end of the day feel a lot more peaceful and zen. And that's made a huge difference. And I just absolutely love that little kitchen.
Yeah.
It's just got so much heart and soul in it. It's just magic.
I'm pleased with it. And actually, in real time, our next episode will be smack back to real time. We'll probably be filming it the day before it goes live. Right now, we're about 3 weeks ahead of schedule because of our Borneo trip.
Yeah. While we're filming this, I'm about to start packing for Borneo. Literally tomorrow, start packing, and we leave in about 4 or 5 days time, don't we?
We do.
But when you're watching this, we are almost back in Borneo, and you, as John says, you'll all be back in real time. So if you haven't seen our travel videos, please go check them out. They're over on our other channel, The Newbys Explore. And yeah, I'm excited to share them. I think we're aiming for about 3 episodes or so from there.
Yeah.
Seeing the orangutans and the proboscis monkeys, and
it's all about to happen, darling.
So exciting.
But the point was the point I was going to make before we went off on that tangent is
casual plug
is that kitchen has actually been completed for about 2 months now, and so I can say with confidence that it's been a real success within the success of this project. And the reason for that is we've used it. It's a usable, functional kitchen that does the job of a kitchen, as well as looking pretty cool too. When we were first designing this building, the idea was to have it to sit, and look, I love our kids dearly, but if we didn't have them, I think I'd probably be happy with this house.
Yeah,
I don't think I need a bigger house.
No, that's it. If it was just the 2 of us, this house would be more than adequate. It really would.
So what comes next with this house? Well,
look, we're going to make a statement now, which I think feels quite bold. Okay. That the next time you tune into our channel, we're breaking ground on the new house.
Yeah.
We're saying that a month before that date.
We are.
That date is in our minds, and it's been shared with our lovely contractors and architect.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed that is what's happening next week. Right now, we have absolutely no idea, but we're going to leave you with that thought, because that's what we're aiming for. Anyway, please remember to check that you've subscribed to our channel. And before we sign off, should we do a quick fire round of 1 success and 1 failure that we hadn't mentioned that you would have liked to have had on the list?
Failure was the outdoor shower, not because it didn't work or look good. It was just because we didn't use it. And the reason why we don't use it is because there's always somebody on the farm that isn't part of our little family.
Yeah. For me, the failure in this exactly the same kind of line would be the couch swimming pool. Because we built that and we really thought that was going to be our swimming pool, but it just never, we swam in it that one summer, and then it just, like, we've never put a filter and stuff in it, so it's a pain to clean.
Yeah.
We put fish in it, now it's a fish pond.
Yeah.
So,
and then we ended up going to the river all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun project.
Success.
Success. The amount of free plants that I've managed to get from just cuttings. I've been literally going around everywhere cutting. Our own garden. Whenever I go away on holiday, I'm taking cuttings. Wherever I am, I'm taking cuttings and I'm bringing them back and I'm sticking them in the ground. And I think we've got thousands of euros of free plants just because I've been taking cuttings.
That's great, isn't it? My other big success would be the fact that thanks to your help, all of you who donated, we have managed to set up our rescue apiary and bee hospital, as Diego likes to call it, here on the farm. And that, like, I love that, because that success is not just ours, it's also yours. You know, that we had a really tragic couple of weeks here when those enormous fires rolled through in September, and it was such a hard, horrible time of so much heartbreak and loss for so many people.
Yeah.
And in amongst all of that, you guys just stepped up to the mark and massively, massively dumped a whole bunch of hope and happiness and uplift on this little patch of Portugal. And for that, I
changed lives.
Yeah,
you guys changed people's lives.
I feel emotional talking about it because it just, like, it's monumental what you guys did for us and for our friends, and I'm so grateful to all of you. So a huge thank you for that success. Our bees are happy and thriving, and yeah, you know, just it feels great. It feels really, really great. So thank you. Anyway, let us know in the comments below if we missed your favourite project, or if there's something else you think that we have failed at.
Yeah.
Just be kind, all right?
And you know, if we're talking about failures, nobody mentioned hair.
That wasn't a failure. That's a massive success.
Okay. All right. Tune in next week. Tune in next episode. That's only a few days away, where we will probably be breaking ground on our new house.
And if not, we will have a very good reason why not.
That's true.
Thank you for being here with us, everybody. Remember to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Leave us loads of comments.
Yeah.
Share this video with your friends and family. Make sure that you've subscribed, and we will see you in a few days' time.
Newbies Explore right here. The Newbies right here. Borneo, Portugal.
Ciao for now.